Ping the Pangolin by Renori Johnson. Once upon a time, in the lush forest of Southeast Asia, there lived a young pangolin named Ping. Ping was a creature who loved to explore. Covered from head to toe in rows of overlapping scales made of keratin. Keratin is what our hair and fingernails are made of. Ping spent his time wandering through the forest, curling his 27-centimeter long tongue to snatch up ants and termites. If you think that's long, his mother's tongue was 41 centimeters. That's about the length of two brand new number two pencils put together. Ping did not like having scales because they made him look different from the other mammals. Every other animal that was covered in plush fur seemed to belong and fit right in. They would all tease him about the way he looked and his slow speed. The monkeys, playful and swift, would mock his awkward strides, saying,
Why so slow, Pinecone?
laughter echoed through the trees. The deer would sneer, saying, you look more like a rock than a mammal, as they pranced by. Every day, Ping would ask himself,
why do I have these heavy scales instead of soft fur?
Ping sighed as he curled himself up into a ball of frustration.
Why am I so strange looking?
However, what Ping saw as a defect was actually a treasure that poachers wanted very badly. One morning, as Pingle toiled along, feeling gloom, while looking for ants and termites to eat, he heard a faint rustling in the bushes. He curiously stopped to listen, but everything got quiet. Then he noticed something peeking from the underbrush. He went in closer to see what it was and realized that they were a human's swamp boots. Before he could run, a net trapped him and swept the ground right from under his feet. He was abruptly thrown into a cramped, dark cage.
Ouch!
He cried as the cage was carried away by a strange human. When he finally opened his eyes, he saw two other pangolins.
What's happening?
Asked Ping. One of the smaller pangolins leaned forward and replied,
My name is Willow and this is Oak. We have been captured by poachers.
Poachers? What are poachers?
asked Ping.
Poachers are people who hunt animals illegally and often receive money for the animals they catch.
Said Willow. Ping had heard stories that circulated the forest about others who found themselves victims of these poachers, but never had he imagined he would become one himself.
They will likely get a big payoff for all scales for their medicinal powers. After all, we are the most trafficked mammal in the world.
Explained Willow. Ping gasped in disbelief. He couldn't believe he was in this situation, all for something that he saw as worthless.
They want us for our scales? They're useless.
He thought to himself. Confused, Oak sat up and looked at Willow and said,
You're kidding, right? Our scales are amongst the most sought after item among poachers. You should have more pride in your scales. They are your armor. You can protect and you can heal. Because of our skills and our claws, we will escape this cage before they can make it to their next destination.
Scared and feeling alone, all Ping wanted was to return home. Willow stood up and yelled,
All right, guys, we are mighty penguins. We are a team, and together we are strong. They have taken us captive because we stand out. We are beautiful, and we are strong. The time has come for all of you to demonstrate to all the other animals in the forest that our uniqueness is our strength.
Ping was so moved by Willow's words, he looked up and said to everyone,
We need to weaken the bars of this cage. Use your teeth, use your claws, use your skills.
all the penguins got to work, some gnawing at the wooden bars and others using their extremely long, sharp claws. Oak yelled out,
It's time to break! Roll yourselves into a ball and smash this cage.
and so they did. And boy, was it a sight to see. Each pangolin rolled themselves into a ball of armor and repeatedly smashing the cage until the cage was no more. Suddenly, they felt the truck stop. They heard the door open. The poachers were on to them. As a poacher reached down to grab a small escaping pangolin, Mr. Oak let off a stinky gas aimed right at the poacher's eyes. The stinky gas caused him to fall back because he couldn't see, and the smell was unbearable. All the pangolins ran free into the bushes. The next morning, Ping woke up with the pangolins all around him. He reflected on how they were able to escape and how good it felt being a part of a team. He liked having a strength that allowed him to protect others. Then he heard the monkeys approaching and snickering as usual.
Hey, pine cone.
They taunted. Oak looked up at the monkeys and said,
Hey! Guess what?
What?
replied the monkeys,
Pangolin mine!
exclaimed Oak as he sprayed his smelly gas at the monkeys. The pangolins laughed as the monkeys swung away blindly. The deer also approached Ping, saying,
Wow, we saw what happened last night. We wanted to help, but our soft fur is no use. We can't believe you all were able to escape. Even we must admit that it was kind of cool. It's pretty awesome to have those scales.
From then on, Ping loved being different. He loved his scales, and the forest grew to love him back.
It's time to break!